In the heart of a forgotten countryside where even the map seems to hesitate, there stands an old house, weather-beaten, windowless in places, and heavy with secrets. It had been empty for years, left to rot under a gray sky and the whispers of the forest that surrounded it. But now someone was coming back. Arman had never been close to his uncle, an eccentric man, reclusive and feared by the villagers. Yet, after his sudden death, Arman was named the sole heir, a full inheritance, with one condition: he must stay in the house for 7 nights. It sounded simple, but as Arman stood at the creaking gate, suitcase in hand and dusk falling fast, he felt it. A silence too deep, a coldness too sharp, and a house that somehow felt like it had been waiting for him. The front door moaned open with a reluctant sigh, as if the house itself resented his return. Dust floated in the air like ash from an old fire. The furniture was draped in yellowed sheets. The walls were lined with faded portraits, all eyes turned to follow him. As Arman stepped inside, he noticed something odd. The main hallway was longer than he remembered from childhood, impossibly long. Too long, the kind of hallway that seemed to shift when you weren't looking. One of the paintings crashed to the floor without warning. He froze. It was a portrait of his uncle, mouth slightly open, as if he had been trying to speak. Arman shook off the chill that crawled up his spine and closed the door behind him. But somewhere, from deep within the hallway, he thought he heard a second click, like another door, quietly shutting itself. By the second night, the house had grown colder. No matter how many lights Arman turned on, the hallway at the back of the house remained cloaked in shadows. It was as if the darkness refused to be touched. That's when he noticed it. At the end of the hallway, where once there had been only wall, now stood a door. Plain, old, made of dark, splintered wood. No keyhole. Just a strange symbol carved deep into its center, a spiral with jagged edges that seemed to shimmer faintly when the lights flickered. He didn't remember seeing it before. Each time he passed it, the air grew heavier. The floorboards colder. He could swear. He heard something behind it, breathing, whispering, waiting. That night, unable to sleep, he returned with a flashlight. He leaned in, placing his ear against the wood. Nothing. Silence. Then suddenly a knock. Soft, slow, from the other side. He stumbled back, heart hammering in his chest. The flashlight flickered, then died, and in that pitch-black moment, he heard a voice, low and broken, whisper through the door, "He's still here." By the third night, Arman could no longer ignore the door. He tried to speak to the locals, but no one would answer his questions. When he mentioned the house, they turned away. One man muttered, "Some doors ain't meant to open twice." That evening, searching the study, Arman found something tucked behind a row of books, a leather-bound journal. His uncle's handwriting scrawled in erratic strokes, pages stained with time and something darker. The entries began normally, thoughts on isolation, aging, loneliness. Then the tone shifted. "There's something behind the wall. It calls in my sleep." The door appeared after the ritual. I thought it had failed. I was wrong. I tried sealing it, but it moves. It wants out. Arman's hands trembled as he turned to the final entry, dated a week before his uncle's death. The door feeds on fear. It grows closer every time I pretend it's not there. If you're reading this, then it's already chosen you. That night, the hallway felt longer again. And the door was no longer at the end. It was just 5 steps from his bedroom. Night fell like a shroud. The wind howled through the broken chimney, and the lights in the house began to flicker one by one, until only the hallway remained lit. Arman stood at his bedroom door, staring. The strange door was no longer at the end of the hall. It was right in front of him. Its surface was breathing, expanding, contracting, like something alive pulsing beneath the wood. The carved symbol now glowed with a sickly red light, and from the cracks, thin black smoke seeped into the air like tendrils reaching for him. Then the doorknob appeared, rusty, slowly turning on its own. Click. The door creaked open, just a sliver. A putrid cold spilled out, and from the darkness 2 eyes opened. Not human, not animal, eyes that remembered everything. Eyes that had waited. Arman tried to move, but his body betrayed him. The whispers returned, louder now, layered, ancient. Come back, you belong to us. A hand, long, gray, and wrong, reached out from the gap. Then another. They grabbed him, pulling, dragging him toward the dark. He screamed, but no one heard. Just as the door slammed shut behind him, the sun rose over the countryside like any other morning. The storm had passed, the air was still, too still. Later that day, a small moving van rolled up the gravel path. A young couple stepped out, freshly married, full of hope, keys in hand. The wife laughed. It's bigger than the pictures. The husband smiled, and cheaper than it should have been. They didn't notice the flickering light above the front porch. They didn't see the portrait that had fallen, now back in place on the wall. They didn't question the hallway at the back of the house, unusually long, unusually cold, and at the end of it stood a door. Sealed, silent, but not asleep.